In a world with entirely too many shows about cars, this is another pointless automotive podcast. Why, hello there, Chadwick and friends. That's you, dear listener. How are you, sir?
Doing good, Frank. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm good. How are you, friends?
We're doing good.
Wow,
We're
glad to
doing
hear it.
so good, guys. Thanks for asking.
I've never been better, except for my voice. Um, no, I should have gone. I should, instead of high pitch, it should have been like, oh, I'm so good. Go like Ken Kniff or something. Um, other than Ken Kniff from the internet, trying to lure your kids or however the rest of that goes.
Mm.
Um, good. Glad to hear it. I'm doing well. And you know what? You know what has not been good for my mental state? I mean, many
This is
things.
I don't know how deep you want me to go in this, buddy.
Elbow deep. But my penchant for continuing, even in a world where I'm actively trying to get cars out of my life, get
Yeah.
whatever the opposite of get out of my dreams and into my car is what
Mm.
I'm trying to do,
Okay.
which is get cars out of my life. um I'm still poking around Facebook Marketplace, my guy, and I messaged somebody today about a car that I have no business buying, that I have no business being interested in. It's not a good car, but here I am.
Yeah.
Here I am. I
I've
got the itch.
I've literally got a car in the background that I bought a month ago. So, like, look,
Mm-hmm.
we got problems. We've identified that problems. That's the first step to moving forward. Uh,
However,
I look a few times a day, dude. I'm not gonna lie. The last thing I do before I go to bed, marketplace. And I think that's what you're getting to today's topic.
mm-hmm.
I think you're trying to bring this up that
I'm
this is
trying,
something we
man.
still do. He's gonna
It
get there.
is. It's not okay. It's
It's
problematic. It's
okay.
negative impacting my life and my mental health and
Mm,
perhaps physical health. I know you've succumbed to physical maladies from working on cars, i.e.,
honey,
the rat special and the E30
so
and
bad,
some other things.
dude.
Um,
Uh,
but yeah, man, like why don't we just cut to the chase and talk about what you have, what I have, what we collectively have as saved searches in our Facebook Marketplace
uh,
searches, stuff you flagged where you're like, oh, I'm gonna keep an eye on this one,
yeah.
for good intentions, bad intentions, really just bad intentions. Um, what you got? Like, what's the very
Dude,
latest? What's the
I'm
very last thing you
well,
looked at?
so the last one I have saved, and I don't know if I have a good photo of it. Let me see if I've got a good photo of it. So this is a 1990 Dodge Dakota convertible,
Oh,
right?
red. I can see it. Yeah.
Red. So these are pretty cool. These are rare. I think it was a 1 year only. There was like 900 of them that year. There might have been a
Hmm.
few years actually. Correct. It had like
I
a
think
3.9 V6, if I remember correctly.
I
This
think
one,
you could you get the 5.2? Could you get the 318?
I don't know if you could on these. I don't
Mm,
know on the the
mm,
Dakota convertibles, but
right.
dude, this one needs a new engine. So it needs a new 3.9. They are only asking 3,000 or best offer. Body looks straight. I don't know what kind of quality we're looking for. Folks at home, I'm showing Frank some photos. It's red. It's got some
Hmm.
really cool white graphics on the sides. Two-door
Yeah.
as God intended. Crew cab. That was the only way you could get these. Full convertible top for those that don't know these Dakota Sport convertibles. The whole top
Yeah.
was cloth and could come off, and there was
Hmm.
kind of like a roll bar type scenario behind where the back window glass would traditionally be. So it looks so crazy when you take the top off and just look at this thing is just it's the tits.
They're
Little paint
cool. They're
shade,
so bizarre. Like
interior's
they're
all there. Manual transmission. It's got all these
okay, and
trim pieces
that's what
missing.
I wasn't sure. I was like, I think you can get them with a manual. I think most of them were autos.
Uh-huh.
They
Yeah.
had the what is it, the A19 A918, I think is what they
At
call it, the
least
four
I'm
speed
like, yeah, no, this is a
overdrive.
manual, dude. So color's cool, graphics are cool, just need an engine, some other miscellaneous stuff. How could I not put a 1990 Dodge Dakota Sport convertible?
That's cool. And that's the thing, like an engine on that, right? It's not like, oh, there's a 911, but it's $10,000 off because it needs a $25,000 engine. It's like not what we're talking about.
Score this for like
That's
$800 for a good
oh yeah.
known working
See,
one.
and you can do that 5.2 I was talking about. You put the 318
True.
in it.
Yeah, I wonder if you're
Um,
swapping all the axles and the other drive components, but I bet you definitely just find those parts, right?
well, the
Um,
good news is the 3.9 is effectively it's like the Chrysler version of the 4.3,
yep,
where
with two
it's a
cylinders chopped off.
318 with two cylinders. So the bell housing bolt pattern is the same.
Dude, I
Really
could probably
everything.
score that for 2,500 all day. And source the
How long
engine.
how long has the listing been up?
Yeah, I don't think it's been long.
Because if it's been
Um,
like 6 weeks, 10 weeks, yeah, I promise you, you can
it's
scoop it
been
for
two
like
weeks,
22.
so yeah,
Okay, all right. He might be getting hot out of the collar. You could probably
yeah.
scoop that for between 2 and 3.
So
Yeah,
that's a good opening salvo, my friend.
that is cool.
How about
Speaking
you?
of speaking of
Oh,
terrible American cars, where'd it go? Oh, what's crazy is the one I was messaging somebody about is I somehow didn't save it, but I've just been messaging it. So let me find the message here. Let me kill the messenger and let's see. Okay, considering this makes brutally bad radio here, let me just click on
good lord.
my say do. Man, I had it here. Why don't I just tell you what it is,
Yeah, walk us
dear
through.
listener? Um, a 1983 Cadillac Cimarron, baby.
I
So
saw that one.
it's
Yeah.
an early cinema Cimarron. Runs and drives great. It's got like 93,000 miles. It's like a taupe over darker taupe
Yeah, that sounds
leather
about right.
interior. Iron Duke, automatic. Relatively clean. Like the paint shiny, the leather isn't tore up.
Hmm.
Um, runs, drives. I messaged the guy, and turns out we could probably have him as a guest on this here pod. He loves like old shitty cars. He used to
Clearly.
be like a contributor for I don't remember, but some online like car publication where he was like an article. He would write articles and was a like a common contributor
Hmm.
for writing for them and stuff. And yeah, we were just messaging back and forth about a bunch of crazy car nonsense shit. So um he's asking $3,000. He
Okay.
still has it. He is very open to negotiation. He's
Hmm.
had it a couple of weeks, or he's had it for sale for a couple of weeks. He's moving, so that's why he needs to get rid of it. And it because it's a Cadillac Cimarron. So basically, my goal for it would be, say I've owned a Cadillac Cimarron, check that one off the box.
Just couldn't drive a Cavalier. This man is not a
Oh no,
commoner.
fancy.
He's not
Like
a pauper.
if I could scoop it for 2,500 or less as a
That's
running,
cool.
driving sub 100,000 mile Cimarron. And what's great is, in my opinion, it is an early one. It's like one of the first years.
They look cool.
So they look extra shitty. Like they've got like
I
the big
like
heavy
it.
chrome bumpers instead
I
of
don't
the
know.
later
I
Euro
kind
style ones. They
mm,
don't, it's not a 2.8, it's an Iron Duke. They didn't do like the two-tone and make it look a little bit nicer. It looks like a 1983 Cadillac,
they were all shit
based
boxes,
off the
Frank.
shell.
If you're
But it's
gonna go
like extra
yeah,
shitbox.
go
Yeah.
all the way shit box, dude.
Hmm.
Don't
I
pump the brakes on the shit box factor.
Yes. And so part of it was like, so like, okay, I can do that stuff. I can do like a really cool photo shoot with a Cimarron. Like, I don't want to go no holds barred. Like, find a model or something to like do, like, I don't know, like do
Oh,
something super over the top, like beyond over the top, like
no,
try and
like
replicate like an 80s
a washed up,
advertisement.
disgusting lot lizard of a model. Just to,
Oh yeah, yeah, like
to lend some credence to
dub
the
her
car.
Lady Cimarron, but
Simmer down.
simmer down
Simmer
now. But
on.
yeah, I already shot a line to Doug, and I'm like, hey Doug, would you be like, if I limped this thing down to San Diego and just abandoned it there in the office, would you, whenever you find time, do an absolute roast review video of it, and then we'll sell it on the site? And like, if I get it for $2,500, like, let him absolutely cook this car, and just for the lulls, and just
You will
like
not,
live the meme.
you'll not make it over the grapevine, but
I don't know, man. Iron Duke is pretty okay. We'll see.
it's pretty Iron Dukey, that's for sure.
Reliability, it's a whole like
Emphasis on
88
Dookie.
horsepower.
Yeah.
Yeah, good album, by the way. But yeah, that would be so that was that one. That was the
Solid.
latest one I've been discussing on Facebook Marketplace. So that would be fun.
This one isn't ironic. This one isn't silly. This is
Mm.
something I really fucking want really bad. I just can't justify having it in my house right now. It's a 1994 Honda Passport
Ooh.
in green. I'm holding it up, Frank, if you want to check it out.
I'm looking at
In
it.
one
That's
family,
cool.
its entire life, manual.
4x4.
Yes, 4x4. And it only has 160,000 miles,
Okay.
which is really good. Like I said, one owner. Paint's got a little bit of clear coat given up on the hood, but
Okay.
overall, look at this thing, dude. These things look so good. Look at it. The interior is like minty mint.
How is that? How is that spare tire cover still clinging to life?
And it's still the original Honda one.
Yeah.
Um, Frank, with all that being said,
Isuzu
smog,
Hondas.
everything. Yeah, this is an Isuzu Rodeo, guys. So it is a,
Mhm.
4-door SUV. This is a manual. The all four-wheel drive is so sick. This is being offered for only 3,300 or best offer.
Okay. And what's the miles again?
160
Okay.
in
Perfect.
green, manual, four-wheel
Hmm.
drive in the same family, the entire ownership.
Okay.
These are my favorite thing, man. These kind of like cheap ship box off-roaders, and it falls
So
right in
good.
line with the Trooper, because the Rodeo and Trooper are very close, but it also falls in line with the early Pathfinder. Forerunner, a
Hmm.
little beefier, but these are pretty capable little things, and they really are just super reliable, super cheap to maintain. You could keep this thing running, and you could make it as crazy as you want. You can lift it, put some more off-road tires on
Yeah.
it, or just put off-road tires and run the goddamn thing, because they are
And that's
just,
what I think. That's what I would do. I would just, I'd
dude.
put some good tires on it. Just have it be a trail runner, camping machine, old reliable. Like those are the kind of.
Oh, dude.
That's like, if I really think to like what would be a good just weekend warrior
Mm-hmm.
car, like it's easy to be like, Miata or whatever. But like if I really think about what I'm more likely to do on a weekend, it's just like just go down a dusty trail, take the kid camping,
Yeah.
go whatever, like have to
Epic,
go do something
epic fishing rig.
utilitarian.
I would use this as a fishing rig all day. Perfect.
Yeah.
Uh,
Put
think of it.
put 2,000 miles a year on it. Have this as like, and then you have a somewhat like you can have a somewhat questionable daily driver if you want. Because if you
You're,
ever need something as a backup, you've got it right there. It's stone cold reliable.
that's what I'm saying. Your daily has an issue, battery dead. Who gives a shit? Flat tire. You jump in
Mhm.
your Honda Passport / a Suzuki Rodeo, and you got a
You will start every
fantastic
single
ride to
time.
work. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, dude, can you go wrong? 3,300. Obviously, you come in at like 28, right? Worst case.
Yeah, dude.
And that's a lot of vehicle and one
It
owner.
really
Like maybe
it
not one
really
owner, one
is.
family is what they say, but still a
Yeah,
manual
effectively.
plus the
Yeah.
manual in green.
Right. And
So
what's
much good, Frank.
parts are available,
And it's not
you know.
trashed. It just has a little
No.
clear coat, no big damage, and the interior's mint.
Yeah. And that like
God, I
yeah,
want it.
that's cool. It's funny you brought that up because I was just peeking around. I don't have any saved because I didn't find any that I fell in love with, but I was just looking at first gen Pathfinders. Like
Mm-hmm.
just like 2 nights ago, lying awake in bed, poking around on my phone because that's what degenerates like us do instead of sleep. We look at shit boxes online.
Of course.
Um, and yeah, very similar vibe. I think side to side, I would prefer an early Pathfinder to that, but they very much are. They run side to side with each other. Pathfinder's probably a little easier to get parts for because Nissan, in theory, is still a company.
Yeah.
But they're all really cool. And that's funny because I was going to hit you up, but I figured you didn't need me being your automotive drug dealer anymore.
Please go.
My Car Donation homies, they're sending it. It's actually going to go to Pick and Pull
Yeah.
unless somebody rides in on a white horse and saves it. 93 Pathfinder, XE, so that's the more entry trim level. So it's got the steel wheels, cloth, just cloth seats and stuff. 4x4, 5-speed, 274,000 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially needs a cat. So failed smog. The thought was it needs a cat. Front end is pretty sloppy, right? Like it's just 270,000 miles worth of wear in the suspension, but it runs and drives really strong. It's got some dents. The interior's kind of worn, but probably $500 buys it.
Okay. Damn. Manual, right? You said?
Manual 4-wheel drive, first gen Pathfinder. It's a 93. It's a 4-door.
Clean title.
Clean title.
Paint
It's
shit.
got one. Paint is pretty boned. It's like that like goldish silver color. It's just super flat.
Yeah.
It's got like looks like a somebody hit the driver's side door with a hammer a couple of times. So it's got a couple
Oh,
of, it's not like a huge dent, but it's got it's got a little impact there. But, you know, fires right up, runs, drives. Lord knows when the timing belt was last done on it. But just
I,
failed smog. And so
yeah, I would love to get my hands on that for sure.
what a trail rig, though. Just have that and just,
Oh
if I
yeah,
only had a ranch, this fictional ranch that I own.
yeah. Shit,
Um,
just gotta put that
yeah.
piece of the puzzle in there.
So yeah, so yes, a lot of want for something like that. The trail rig, the 80s, 90s 4x4, and yeah, the Isuzu / Honda Passport Rodeo, killer example of like not paying the Toyota tax.
Yeah, that's a good one, right? That
Very good one.
example too would a good scoop.
Speaking of the Toyota tax,
Ooh,
um, I know you like early Lexus.
of
I
course.
like early Lexus. The very first two Lexi
Mm,
that they roll out,
400
immediately
and
followed by a third.
250.
Yes, sir. 1991 Lexus ES 250.
Not a manual. Do not say
Not a
manual.
man. No,
Okay.
no, they don't. No, they never. I don't. They never made this gen in a manual.
I'm sorry, the 300. The 300 in a manual, I
The
drop
300.
everything and probably buy.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
300 in manual. The 250
Mm,
they never made in a manual, and it really, really like the
so
LS
nice.
was a bespoke product. The SC was in North America really a
Mhm.
bespoke Lexus product. This was very clearly a rebadged Camry, like off
Yeah.
the rip. Like
Yeah, for
it was
sure.
not fooling anybody. But this one, super clean. The leather is really nice. The paint is killer on it. Um, like like this is the interior. Really nice leather. It's a
Wow.
it's a sweetheart of a car.
Good
It
Lord.
has under 100,000 miles. It has
Daily.
86,000 miles on it. Guess the price. Maybe you saw it. I don't know. I
I
held it up.
didn't. I want to say like 4,600.
$2,800.
That's what's wrong with it. Something's going on.
It's in Yucaipa, California, somewhere like kind of in the SoCal desert, somewhere in the middle of
Oh,
nowhere.
fantastic.
Um, yeah, beautiful one owner car, runs and drives. Oh, hold on, they changed the description on me. It didn't say this earlier. Now it says needs motor work. That's how they get
I
you.
knew it. I knew there was something there, Frank.
I just got marketplaced
Yeah, you did. You got
because when I
served.
remember reading this and like looking like, okay, like what would it take to drive down there? But now it's saying most likely needs head gaskets, plural. I don't know
Uh,
how they came to that, but yeah,
dude,
I
that
am a dealer. So otherwise,
yeah, that's some value because that is low mileage and super clean.
very, very, very clean. Yeah,
Wow.
that gold faded away into nothing. It was probably old lady
Oh,
car,
yeah.
parked it in the garage, and then they were a million years old and ran it out of coolant and blew it up.
Yeah, true.
But yes, ES 250. I soft spot for what isn't a particularly good car, and probably in the running for worst Lexus of all time. But I want one.
Yeah. That's a good one, man. And that what a fantastic daily that would make.
What else you got?
Let's keep it in the mid 90s. A
Ooh,
little
good.
something near and dear to my heart are domestic shit boxes, especially
Mm-hmm.
performance variants. Now, this unfortunately is not the performance variant I really want, but it's a trim I really like. A 1996 Chevy Lumina
Ooh,
Euro. So it's got
you're a,
the red, yeah, it's got
yes.
the red around the entire exterior of the car.
And then it says
It's
Euro with red around the script and like the 3D
Yep, the
lettering.
badge has red around it. It has that little like flat like spoiler in the back. Look how good this one looks, dude.
So
Um
it's not a Z. What that did the Z26?
Z26 for the Lumina, yes, because the
Yeah.
Z24 is the Cavalier, the Z32 is the Beretta. No, Z26 is the Beretta, and then the Z28 obviously is the Camaro.
Right. And was that so? Then was that the
Z24 is
sorry?
the Cavalier.
So then was that the Z34
Z no, this would have been
in the Lumina?
that's a good question. What now you got me
Because there
discombobulated.
was a Z24, the Z26. I think you're right. Was the Beretta,
Beretta.
which
This
then
is
turned
the
into GTZ.
Z34, sorry, is the
Yes,
Lumina. But this
Z34.
this is not that one, my friend. This is the Euro. Runs and drives, AC works, fresh smog. It has, I can't, doesn't say the mileage because who gives a shit?
Manny.
1500 or best offer.
Okay. And we said we don't know the miles.
We don't know the mileage. Does not say
Hmm,
anywhere in
that's a
there.
shame.
The guy's name, the
280.
guy, the seller's name is Junior Junior. So I mean,
Oh, JJ, let's go.
but I mean, seriously though, that's a solid car, and those are insanely rare. Like the body is excellently straight.
$1,500. I have to imagine that like you get there and it's like, well, it hasn't been registered since
Bro,
1999. Yeah, dude, that's a good steering wheel.
interiors.
You know what? That same
fucking
steering
mint.
wheel, I had that same steering wheel I had on a Cavalier wagon. It wasn't mine. It was a Cardinal Nation car that I sold for them. Somebody swapped out the original for that like Chevy Sport rally wheel that they had in the 90s, and it was that same wheel.
This is the same one that's in the late 80s Z24 Cavalier too.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. So I kind of like these cars. I know they're shit boxes. I know they're
Mm-hmm.
unmitigated piles of shit. I think these looked cool. All the Chevy Z cars, like the Z24, 26, and 34. I think they just look so cool. I like the additional body cladding, which did nothing but made it look fucking sweet. Because that's my sweet spot, Frank, as we all know on this fine podcast we run here. But these, I would just love to have all those Z cars assembled, obviously leaving out the Z28 because that's actually a car, and just have all the Chevy Z cars going head to head as just like some stupid, absolutely worthless comparison.
That's like, have you seen, there's one guy who has I want to say it's like the entire 1992 Acura lineup.
See, those are cool cars, though.
I know, but it's killer because he's got the Legend Coupe, he's got a 92 Integra GSR, he has an NSX, he has a Vigor with a manual, and they're all like the best spec. Like the GSR is in that teal color. He's got the Legend Coupe.
So this is like satire of that piece.
Yeah, it's exactly. It would be the dog ship equivalent.
But they look so cool.
All the Z. Yeah, like, well, you've already got the ZR1. You got that one. You got the hard one. You got the King of the Hill.
Yeah.
You got to go back. You got to go backwards.
Yeah, it's there. I just love those cars. I mean, honestly, probably the one I'd want the most is like the Z24, like a 1988 with a manual, because my buddy Mike had one growing up, and what a fucking sweet car, dude. Yeah, shout out to Mike with that 2.8, baby. Great car. It was the blue and silver two-tone. God, iconic.
Ooh, yeah,
dude, so good.
Those are good.
But yeah, that's what I got. So a little bit of a GM on there for us.
Can I flash a different American shitbox? And here's the thing. I feel like, speaking of shout outs, I want to give a quick shout out to the homies, the Vault Auto Club here in the Bay Area. So I was a guest on their podcast. Go give it a listen and a watch. They have a growing listener and watching base over on the YouTube and wherever you get podcasts. So shout out to them. Free plug. They're not giving me anything other than some airtime on their podcast. But this is something that they've been doing apparently on their podcast lately. It's like, hey, find cool stuff on Facebook Marketplace. Ours, what we're doing now is a little bit more organic because it's like, what's in your history, you idiot? Like, open the kimono and show us the garbage you've been looking at. But this is one that I saw and I saved it to talk about on their pod. And I'm going to talk about it here because they didn't have the appreciation, I don't think, that you're going to have for this vehicle.
Ooh.
It is a 1998 Ford Contour SVT.
My heart.
It is in Hayward, California. It's been listed for 22 days, and it apparently is still up. 145,000 miles.
That's good.
It's red over gray. Paint it's that like charcoal color, grayish, blackish. It's hard to tell. Interior's pretty clean.
Okay.
The dashboard's like to blow up on these, and they all like fold up and like curl in on themselves.
Yep.
Looks pretty good on this one. Yeah. Contour was passed down to me. I don't have space nor time to get it smogged and get it registered in my name. Kind of a red flag. However, 5-speed, great condition, good car for learning a manual. Nothing wrong with it. No lights on. Asking, what do you think? Let me show you. The paint's hammered though.
Yeah, like, the paint sucked on those.
Like you can kind of see, it's just the clear coats.
It's gone
on all the top faces. Is gone.
Yeah,
it's a good red color. It's a good color combo, but the paint's gone. What do you think?
They're asking $34,000.
$2,500.
That's absolutely bonkers, Frank.
Should we want to go halvesies?
No.
You want to go halvesies?
No. I mean, yes. No.
See, this is why.
Absolutely
this is why you and I collectively need to shed 10 cars,
God,
so we can see something like this and go and be like, hey man, I have like 1,800 cashish.
when someone
You want
tells
to get
me
rid
they
of it?
they spend 20K on a car, I'm like, dude, I could buy 10 cool cars for that
Right.
price.
Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna get, or someone go buy something new and it's just like, dude, you roll it off the lot and what you just lost in depreciation. I just bought me a clapped Contour SVT
And it
with.
doesn't even look that clapped. Honestly,
No,
I
it
think it would
doesn't.
be worth getting those surfaces just cheap resprayed and then
Yeah.
fucking call it, bro.
Man. Like I just got my Supra redone for full complete repaint, $3,500.
I'd see if
Think I can
someone
get
can
it done on a Contour?
do those surfaces, facing up surfaces for 1,000, blend it in as best you can, fucking send it, dude.
Hmm. You know what? You know what this call is calling for? Car is calling for?
Hmm.
24 hours of lemons.
It's too nice. It's way too
Is
nice.
it too nice though?
It's way too nice.
Is it too nice? I don't know.
It's all the way too nice.
I don't know. But yeah, I've always wanted. I've never driven one.
Oh, I have. I had a buddy
Yeah.
right when I got out of the military.
Is it Mike?
He had a black. No, not my buddy Mike. He did not have a Contour SVT. This guy's
It was
name was
Ike.
Randall. Randall is his name.
Mm.
He had and they were all manuals, I believe. So he had a five. It is a 5-speed, which is fun.
Yeah.
And I just remember it sounded way better than it should have, and it actually drove incredibly well. And
Those were what, 205 horse?
Yep, yeah, out of the
Yeah.
2.5 Duratec.
Duratec.
Wasn't there some rumors it was massaged by Cosworth a little bit? Something about that engine.
Maybe.
I think
Cosworth, Yamaha. Like I can see
yeah,
that it got
it's,
licked by Yamaha.
the interiors are pretty cheap, like you said, but it
That'd be
sounded
good.
good and it did well for a front wheel drive. Like it was a fun, responsive.
It was their
little
3
chassis.
Series fighter, right?
Yeah, it was, and it was super affordable. Yeah, it was like a 3.
Still is $2,500.
Yeah,
Or $1,250 to you, my friend.
yeah.
You cut
It's
the
like
baby
that
down the
thing-
middle.
That thing against an Acura TSX, I'm like, no. But cool car.
Torques. It has more of the torques.
It has more torques. It doesn't
Less
have
of
the
the paint.
longevity, nor reliability, nor build quality. But hey,
Yeah. What was the common thing on those? Like camshafts, or there was something that they would.
I think it had to do with the
would do.
cam position sensor. I think that, or the crank position sensor. One of those two was an issue.
Interesting. Yeah, it's like an engine out for like a $42, like whatever random part.
This next car, Frank, and that's a fucking awesome car, by the way. This one I sent to you a little while back, and I want this car so hard because they have fixed the one issue we have with this car.
Oh, so it was listed with an issue, and now they've
no. They fixed the issue inherent to the stock version of this car. So this is a 1997 Subaru SVX with a manual swap, and that is the issue. Get rid of that auto gearbox, man. Put a proper man. Damn, son, these things just starting to look really hot. I always liked them.
Giorgio
Giugiaro. The last line in the ad. You ready for this? There is a misfire on one cylinder.
Hey man,
not a spark plug. It's
only
not
one
a
of
spark
6.
Plug.
Yeah, they burned a hole. They money shifted their manual SVX. Man, look at that.
God damn it, Frank. They did drop the price from 8K to 6K.
Still too much.
Is it?
Still too much.
Is
if it needs a motor? If it needs a motor, it's too much. Unless you're gonna do
maybe it's a head gasket. Maybe it's a head gasket. Maybe
I wonder, can you do like a later, like 3.6 flat 6 out of the later
like the
Legacies,
Rs?
Outbacks?
Yeah,
like a 3.6R.
I
don't know what that engine family. I think the EZ I think is that one, the one that came in that.
I know
SVX.
that engine wouldn't be as like peaky because I don't think the red line was as high as it is in the SVX, right? The SVX
but way more powerful. Wasn't it like 250?
Like
I thought it was more. I thought the 3-liter was 2.
Maybe, yeah, the 3.0R
because they had the 3.0R, and then they had the 3.6 that came later that they put in.
I want to say
the
like
late run Tribecas and stuff.
The
Outback. Yeah,
maybe 260 something. I don't know. I don't think it was that much. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't. But that would be slick. Like,
but this thing's driving. It's got a 5-speed manual. I mean, this is exactly how you want an SVX.
Yeah.
Again, the shot with the manual. I mean, it just looks right. And they even did like the shift boot and everything to match the leather interior. I don't know how they did that.
No, that's cool.
That's absolutely splendid.
It makes me wonder if it came out of like an earlier, like a legacy of that same era.
Maybe
the boot and everything.
The black is
color.
like probably my least favorite SVX color because you lose all the like different contrasting
And the
colors.
lines.
I'd get it in purple or that green, but
yeah, that eggplant is dope. The green is cool.
dude,
They look good in silver, actually.
6K, maybe get it for 5. Maybe go there and be like, dude, the engine's toast. I can hear some rod knock. I can hear some bottom end stuff. 5K. Take it home. Maybe you slap a head gasket, get the head planed, put it back together, and you have a
It's a
manual.
fuck ton of work though.
You have a manual.
Honestly, it's probably part of me thinks if you're gonna do that at that price point, it's easier to buy a stock one for 3 and do the transmission swap.
Except usually the paint shit. The paint looks good on this. The interior looks good on this, and those have an inherent value. I don't know. You get it for 5. I think we're talking here, man. I think as long as it's a head gasket slot.
Should we do it live? Send him a message live on the pod.
God,
message
no.
the guy. Would you take 5?
But I'm just saying,
take 5?
That would be that'd be a kind of hold on forever. Imagine that thing on rallies. Frank,
oh, that'd be
that
sick.
Car, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
A manual SVX on the rallies. I'd do an exhaust mod, get some good sounds going there, like some small tweaks, suspension stuff. Okay, I'm done talking about the SVX. But SVX with the manual, that's a pretty goddamn good car.
What do you think? We got time for one more on here for me to see what I've got on here? Or should we just pull the rip
rip one, dude? Rip one real quick. If you have one.
Rip it and rip it. I'm gonna do this one. I still think it's a good deal. I've always wanted one of these because I think they look cool, but they mostly drive not that great. But that doesn't mean I don't want it.
Okay.
1978. Mercedes-Benz 300 CD.
Very nice.
So diesel coupe.
Yep.
It's an older one, so not turbocharged. I don't think. I'm actually not really good on these cars. Like I guess it'd be a C123.
Yeah.
I don't think they got the turbocharged ones in North America. I don't think we got them until like 82.
I was just going to say
82, 83. Yeah. But look, it even says in the description, super low mileage, Mercedes-Benz 300 CD, non-turbo, 67,000 miles.
Good Lord.
Engine sounds works great. Old brake fluid that needs to be changed. Sure.
Good call.
Runs and drives. It looks very sharp. It is white. It's got the Euro headlights.
It looks right in a coupe form too. I mean,
yes,
totally not as functional, but God,
very clean blue interior. So it's white over blue.
Yeah, those held up well.
$9,000. It's in Reno.
Oh, that's a great car.
But like for $9,000, that seems very, very cool. It's a lot of car. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be slow as all get out because it's a non-turbo, but like the turbo ones, like, are they faster? Yeah. Is it still slow? Yes, painfully slow. So I don't really care. And if something ever happens, guess what? It's smog exempt because it's diesel. LS swap that bad boy. Put an LS in it with you keep the auto.
Dude, it's a low mileage diesel car. You're gonna put an LS.
Well, that's the thing. If the motor goes, it's got 67,000 miles. There's 300,000 more miles on that motor. Like it's the easy. OM 617, I think, is the code on that motor. Again, I'm not really in on those cars. I don't know a ton about them, except I've always wanted one.
Same.
I've driven a couple. They're just a bank vault on wheels. They look really good in coupe form. This one already has zero headlights. Yeah. I don't know. Should I go get it?
That's super low.
I can walk to a train station from my house, the Amtrak station, take the Amtrak to Reno with $9,000 in hand, lose it on one hand of blackjack, and then take the train back home, sad and weeping, and never having even seen the car. I think that's what I might do.
That's probably safe. Yeah, sound advice. Dude, this was fun. This is like.
Do you have any last honorable mentions?
I have too many, but I know we need to move on.
Yeah, we do.
We do our little quiz segment here, but dude, that was super fun, man. Because it's kind of like a little window into what did Chadwick and Frank looking at, and it probably it tracked for how we are. It really did. It was like everything we named was like, yeah, that's fucking cool. Yeah, that's fucking great. And some of them were authentically good deals. Like we didn't pick anything that was a deal, to tell you the truth.
Should I go get that? Should I go get that diesel coupe? It's been listed for 7 weeks.
Can it? Well, what's the torque rating? Can you tow a Contour back with it?
Ooh, well, the Contour's in Hayward. I don't know. It's the math is it's complicated.
Well, I got to tow a Dakota Sport, so just tell me what you
I
can.
am. You know what? I'm gonna be in Truckee in like 3 weeks,
Oh,
4 weeks. If it's still there and available, I might have to like
all right.
show. I might have to drive it home. Anyways, speaking of driving home,
I'll intro the quiz game.
yes,
I
and I
think
will
because
cue
you're
it up.
quizzing me. So, guys, it is time for our aptly named Automotive Print Ad Quiz Game
Mhm.
Show. On this week's installment, Frank will be reading a car ad from a magazine from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. He's going to omit anything that gives it away. I have three guesses to figure out what the hell he's talking about. Probably a car. I would assume it's a car. If I fail, he can give me hints. I can ask for hints. I can pray for forgiveness when I fail miserably. But anyway, 10 minutes on the clock. Once Frank gets through this beautiful ad, I'll try not to say roll that beautiful bean footage. I don't know why I've been saying that lately. It just somehow works.
Not even
With,
lately, for the past like 3 years.
yeah, before we started this segment. But yeah, dude, I'm ready. Frank, lay it on us, man. Paint the picture.
All right, I'm gonna give. I have two options for this car. Two very good ads. One of them is ridiculous. It's basically the game of Clue. The ad is, but it's sparse on tech spec. So I think I'm gonna not do that one, which makes me
Give me
very
that tech
sad.
spec. You always
I'll give
short
you.
me on tech spec, my
Well, I
friend.
was gonna add. I was gonna artificially add tech specs, but I feel like that like kind of it's not within the spirit of the game. So I'm going to read the other one, which has a little bit more, just a smidge more on tech specs.
Okay.
This one, it is a one pager, which means it's kind of sparse on words.
Mm.
It has a picture on of the car in the top third. It's kind of like that side. It's basically a side profile of the driver's side, slight angle towards the rear,
Okay.
red in color, and it says at the top, "Never has so much thought gone into this much fun." Introducing Blank by Blank. The blank is so intelligently engineered, you'll wonder why you ever looked at Honda Accord or Toyota Camry.
Mm.
Start with a well thought out cockpit, one with controls and analog gauges designed precisely where you need them. Four-wheel anti-lock brakes come standard. In fact, the ABS V1 system in Blank has been awarded Technology of the Year by Automobile Magazine.
Mm.
Its high output quad 4 engine delivers 180 horsepower in a machine that gets over 30 miles per gallon highway. The Blank Edge, the industry's most comprehensive owner satisfaction program, also comes standard. You can drive other cars, but none as well thought out as Blank or as fun. For more information, call 1-800-242-BLANK, Monday through Friday, 8 to 7 Eastern Time. Blank, the power of intelligent engineering.
Damn. So quad four, I'm already liking it. 180 is the powerful end of the quad four spectrum.
Mhm.
Did I hear the door count? Did I hear sedan in there or coupe? I don't know if I can't recall.
It didn't
You
say.
might, okay.
It does say you'll wonder why you ever looked at Honda Accord or Toyota Camry.
That's why I was thinking sedan for some reason. So anything with a quad four comparing to those two cars is already over its head in water, right? Let's be. What the hell are you thinking, guys?
Hey man, quad 4.
Quad four, intelligent, a lot of like reference to the intelligence. So I'm thinking there's some cool features in here, which it didn't get too crazy, uh, with anything that was too outlandish, but it did stress the intelligence, which makes me think it's not like Pontiac would be more about the excitement. So if it was a Grand
They
Prix, which
built
is a
driving
two-door,
excitement.
in the Grand Am, you could get with a quad four and a four-door. It
And a two-door.
doesn't read like a Pontiac ad, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
Didn't say cladding, didn't say excitement, didn't say screeching firebird sound. Yeah, I think that's exactly that might be trademarked. We have to edit that. Jesus. God, this is tough. You know where my mind goes, and I think it's the one you like the most. And the thing is, like, just on the engine alone, I can't. There's some good ones, but I don't think the Tornado Trofeo was a four-door. For some reason, I'm thinking that's a coupe. But boy, that's a good one. There's the Cutlass Calais Internationals. I'm naming like I could go through some deep quad 4 knowledge here, guys. But this is tough.
Tune
In red
for the quad 4 hour. Yes, it is in red.
and they're comparing it to an Accord and a Camry, which is super weird. You know, I think we have to take a shot. Let's just go, and I might butcher the specific one. I know we did a quad 442. This is not it because that was a 2-door. It was a quad 442, right? That's what we did.
I do believe so. I do believe we've done the quad 442.
I'm gonna go with the.
It might be it again. I don't know.
I hope not. I'm gonna go with the leaning on the intelligence. I think Oldsmobile was the more intelligent of the GM brands at this time or ever. Pontiac is excitement. GM was a good price point. Buick was not your dad's Buick
Not
anymore.
I thought it was not your father's Oldsmobile, but same thing.
No, yeah, right. Same. I blur the lines. Buick was
so did GM, which is why
Buick was a rocket ship, right? The 88. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. I think I want to do the Cutlass Calais. Like I said, final answer.
This is not
the Calais International.
Calais International or otherwise.
Okay. So not the olds.
I will, for a bit of a hint, I will tell you two things. First off, it is not a Buick product.
Okay. Yeah.
And you were assuming it's a sedan.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be. Here's the thing. Both Accord and Camry in this era were available as a coupe and as a sedan.
Correct.
This same vehicle was available as a coupe and as a sedan. The image is it in coupe form, probably because it looks the best.
As expected.
But it is a vehicle that is not a Buick that is available in coupe and sedan form.
So not an Oldsmobile or Buick? Is that what I'm hearing?
It is not a Buick.
Okay. Well, I said Cutlass Calais.
Damn it, you did. My brain did the math on that and called it like a Skylark.
No. So not an Oldsmobile or Buick, or maybe Oldsmobile.
It's not a. I will stand by that hint. It is not a Buick.
Okay, so it is an Oldsmobile.
I didn't say that. I said it's not a Buick.
But I didn't even guess. That's the worst hint I've ever. That's like, is it a Volkswagen?
No, you know it's a
Jetta?
GM.
You're like, no, it is not an Pontiac.
It is not an Audi.
So I do know it's GM because you said quad 4, but
yes.
God, there's still a lot of guessing to do. Coupe or sedan?
Mm-hmm.
Oldsmobile had the Sierra, and I think the early Sierras could be had with a quad 4.
Sierra, like the pop artist. Who? Sierra, no. Like the one that's married to.
Isn't that what it is? Isn't it the Oldsmobile Sierra? Yes.
Yeah, but isn't she married to Russell Wilson?
Is she?
And then they like made a big deal that they
she
never
wasn't even alive when this car was out, bro.
Well, they made a whole thing where they're like, we're saving it for marriage, okay. And then they like. We got married, and they made a bunch of like kind of gross.
You gave me the worst hint ever. And now we're talking about Russell Wilson. All right,
Russell Wilson finally edging for decades until he blasts his wife. Once
he didn't edge as much as Tim Tebow did. So be real.
That's true. He's still.
Do
you think he Tebows as he just like cranks his hog?
I hope so.
Every time.
This is tough. You know, part of me wants to say Pontiac Grand Am, but this is such an anti-Pontiac ad. But that came in a coupe and a sedan. Doesn't scream Pontiac. And Pontiac talks to me, Frank, on an emotional level.
I know it does.
It does. Boy, I don't think this is as easy. I don't think he'd come at me with that sophomore album bullshit. It's too easy for you. But then again, it could be Oldsmobile because you fucking distinctly did not deny my Oldsmobile guess.
All I said was that I stand by my hint. It is not a Pontiac.
I can't blow my wad on.
Sorry, God damn it!
Is he lying? Is he gaslighting?
No, It is
Okay.
not a Buick. It is not a Pontiac. I just gave you a freebie on the house. I'm on the housing you deeply, softly.
It's I gotta stick with the Oldsmobile. Is this so it's maybe a little new? Yeah, that makes kind of sense because it's 180. The earlier ones were like 140, 150 range. Let's go Oldsmobile Sierra.
It is
Sans Russell Wilson.
not Russell Wilson's wife. It is not the Oldsmobile Sierra.
That's Sierra with the C, by the way, right?
Correct. Yes. Same. I think same with Russell Wilson's wife. That's why I said that. It is still not a Buick. It is still not a Pontiac.
Hope your facts are still true.
It is an Oldsmobile. They did make an even spicier version of this same specific Oldsmobile that came with a hotter quad 4 that I think was good for 195 horsepower with a W, I think it was a W41 or some W whatever Oldsmobile fancy package. That is like the very spicy hot version. This ad doesn't reference that. This ad is not specifically that, but just so you know, it does come in an extra spicy flavor. And in fact, to give you one more tidbit,
and it can't be the 442 because we've already done that car.
It is not the 442.
So just to clarify for the listeners,
which
we don't repeat the cars on the list intentionally.
We try not to. We try not to. It is, I believe it is an exact stablemate of that Buick Skylark that I had mentioned earlier. It is the platform mate of that.
This is tough. This is really tough.
The Oldsmobile Edge, the industry's most comprehensive owner satisfaction program, also comes standard.
Also, how many people can name quad 4 Oldsmobiles from this period? And I've got a couple more. I want to say 88. I really want to come out and say 88, and I forget the special name for that one, but I know there was one. Fucking Oldsmobile, man. How well can you deep dive their catalog? I'm trying.
I really want the spicy version of this car.
Yeah, I thought you were all about the Calais, the Cutlass.
The Calais International Series is the boxier
one. You really,
I do really want that one.
Yeah,
I want one of these too. I really do.
And there isn't.
How about this? Let me give you. And I don't want to like force you to drink the water, but I want to lead you to it.
Sure.
The trim level of the spicy one is the SCX, Oldsmobile blank SCX. That would be the spicy one.
That was the super rare.
There were only 5 speeds. I think you can get like AC delete. Like it was like you can get like a really extra spicy version. They sold like 8, 9 of them.
Yeah, they were super rare. Dude, this is too hard. I know it's not it can't be the 88. I mean, it can be. I don't think that's it. This is before the Alero, because that was the Sierra. And this is probably right before the Sierra. So this is probably, we're talking like 90, I want to say 94 or whatever.
How about the fact that ABS V1 was like the Automobiles magazine's technology of the year was ABS.
Good Lord. So we might be earlier. This might be like a 90, 89, 90. But 180 was a beefy version of that quad 4.
One beefy boy.
Oldsmobile. I've named 2 quad 4 Oldsmobiles already. I've named 3, counting the 88. Which
to be fair, I don't think you can ever get the quad 4 in the 88.
I think you can.
I don't think there was I thought it was too big. I thought it was bigger. I thought it was only 3,800 shit.
No, I don't think so.
I know the 98 certainly is too big, but
okay. What else? I don't even know if I can name any more Oldsmobile models from this period.
I don't know. Will you achieve victory? I don't know. We'll find out.
Wait, then my time period's off because we're talking. Did they have a 180 earlier on? Am I thinking stupid for like trying to stay in 1994 land? An Achieva would be like the late 80s, would be an 89, 88, 89. but I don't think they had the, or I might be off on my quad 4 knowledge because I thought those early ones were all like 150, 160. I get, I don't know, fuck it. I forget the special name for it, but I know the variant you're talking about, and they made like, I think they made 400 of those total, by the way.
Yeah, it's like none.
And you could get a manual, by the way, as well.
The spicy, I think, is only manual.
Yeah, but you could get a manual on this one too.
Yeah.
Then I guess that's it. But that's God, my timeline's off. Is this a 1988 Oldsmobile Achieva? Was it an SC? Final answer.
It is not a 1988. It is not an SC. It is a 1982 Oldsmobile, or sorry, 1992.
Whoa. Okay.
Sorry, 1992 Oldsmobile Achieva. No trim specified. Let me send you the ad so you see what we are talking about. I just sent you a link in the little chatty chat. But yes,
partial
Oldsmobile
credit.
Achieva is it. Yeah, we'll give you. You turned it in on time, but you didn't.
Dude, who else is dropping it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the Achieva SCX was the really spicy one that nobody made.
Damn. Okay.
But yeah,
the Achieva was
interesting car. Reason. No, I want to say like 91, 92 was the genesis of the Achieva, which was the stablemate of that. Remember the same generation Buick Skylark was the one that had that like really like pointy beak.
Yeah.
Kind of bumper front end.
Which we did do
with like one. And it has like the almost like half spats over the rear wheels. They were like slightly shrouded by the sheet metal on the quarter.
Now this I was look up if the 88 was ever offered.
I don't think you can get a Oldsmobile 80. I don't think you can get a quad 4. I think that was like their intermediate / full size car. I'm trying to do the same thing. They made that car for a long time. So that would have been the 10th.
Yeah, the Cutlass Calais. I really thought this was going to be a Cutlass Calais, by the way.
No Cutlass Calais. The Oldsmobile Achieva, which I think honestly, is it a good car? No. Are there any left? No. That said, like if you look at them, I don't think they look that bad. I think they've actually aged moderately okay, which is not exactly high praise, but what I'm saying is like the front end looks kind of good. They've got like the smaller European style headlights. You can tell they were trying to chase the whole like import car scene with that car.
Wouldn't you take the Cutlass Calais International over this though?
I would, simply because it's a little boxier.
The front end treatment I like a lot on the Calais International. I think
the interior on those was more older Oldsmobile, which isn't necessarily a good thing, but the fact that it was like older Oldsmobile, more upright, more boxy, like the sweeping speedometer and stuff, but with like the hot motor and a manual.
Even on Wikipedia, they don't even mention they don't even mention that one.
What the International?
The Cutlass Calais.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah, it's it's a thing. So
Achievas, yeah.
Achieva.
Interesting.
Oldsmobile Achieva.
Wasn't the Skylark, it wasn't the Transport. Europe only got that one.
Engine. Oh, how sick cool. Would that be? That's quad 4 manual Transport.
Yeah, Achieva, Cutlass Calais, Cutlass Supreme even got it. Grand Prix, Grand Am, which we know, and the Skylarks.
Yeah, the Skylark. The Skylark, I don't think they ever made a real spice. I don't think they made like the SCX spicy level. But they made a spicy
Cavalier Z24 and 95 and Sunfire GT.
Yeah, the 1 year, right? Only 95 Sunfire GT, I think.
Beretta GTZ, Beretta Z26, Cutlass Calais again, Cutlass Calais Quad 442, which we talked about, Achieva, Cutlass Supreme still, International Series. And then,
Cutlass Supreme.
They made a bunch of variations of the engine, obviously.
Yeah, there were like lower performance ones. There were ones where I think later they down-tuned it and added balance shafts and all that fun stuff. Thank you, Mitsubishi, for your balance shaft technology.
Well, shit. Let's celebrate Mitsubishi.
Yeah.
partial.
Have you been working on a Mitsubishi, or have you been working on other things? What have you
Other
been working on?
things, for sure. So, PCP wise, I've been working on the
Mhm.
exterior of the NX 2000. So the other Nissan SR20 powered
Yeah.
vehicle in the background. So the front fog lights were totally smashed out.
Oops.
Really hard to source those because the 2000 got them, the 1600 didn't. So already
Yeah.
a rare car, right? There are a few hundred of them. So rather than just keep those metal brackets there, which looked like shit, I pulled those whole units out, which made the front bumper look like shit because you're never supposed to see what's behind them. So I
Yeah.
actually had some broken pieces. I used some plastic putty. I forget what it's called. It's it's whatever. God dang it. They
Don't they
have the
call
metal
that?
version too. JB Weld makes it.
Oh, like the
Plastic
quick
weld.
quick stick.
No, plastic weld. So the
Hmm.
plastic weld you can mold it kind of like clay and it hardens like kind of
Hmm.
like ABS plastic. And then I
Sand
sanded
it
it
down.
down and I'm gonna make it kind of look like a conducive like one piece bumper, which is nice. It's gonna clean up the front end of that car because the way it looked, it was just hideous. So this
Yeah.
car will never be pretty, but that kind of stuff takes time. So doing that, and I've been doing like certain sections like just buffing, sanding, redid the rear spoiler, came out fantastic, perfectly color matched paint. And
Yep.
it's 30 something year old paint, so you're never going to be perfect, but just cleaning up some of those parts. And the rear spoiler, especially, dude, all the paint was down to the black ABS plastic. So
Yeah.
it looked
Just
like shit.
cook it in the
Yes,
sun.
and it looked like candle wax had melted down it because there were like strips of the blue. So it's all good now, man. So, but that stuff's so time consuming, but I'm getting there. I just want to look kind of presentable. That's all
What do
I'm
they
after.
what do they call that? What do they call that color again?
It's like an electric blue or something
I
to
was
that
gonna say
effect.
it reminds me of the Electron blue that was on the like
I
99
believe
to
that's it. And it's like a blue
2001
pearl. It has like
Civic Si.
pearl in it too,
Yeah.
which is cool. It's a super fun color, and it was like a super rare color, especially in these 93s. So yeah, man, that's what I've been up to. How
Itching.
about you? Turning any wrenches?
Um, a little bit. So I got the Supra back to the peeps that did the paintwork. So
Mm,
they got most of the paintwork done and then delivered it to me like 20 hours before I took it on the DWA rally, and
good for you,
immediately
mate.
beat the brakes off
Yeah.
beat the brakes off it. However, things they didn't that weren't finished yet were all of the trim. So
Mm,
on that era Toyota, you've got all of the like the black trim, like the drip rail moldings and the window reveal moldings and the belt
yeah.
moldings on all that trim is all black.
It's like a
It's like
satin black too, if I remember correct.
right, it's like an
Yeah.
eggshell finish
Hmm.
black, and all of it, and it's like a thick kind of like plasticky kind of finish, and it all gets sunbaked and cracks and then splits and starts peeling away. And all of it was like that around the windshield, all of it. The windshield wipers, front and rear, were all pure rust. All the arms were just surface rust. The
Hmm.
cowl, there's like a metal cowl panel. It's metal on that, and it was just
Gone.
sun
Yeah.
bleached down to metal. It was just starting to surface rust. Um, it still was missing the Supra billboard script on the back hatch, which is
Okay.
like iconic on that. That's like
Absolutely. Yeah.
the thing that you have to have on those cars. And people do them all the time, and they do them wrong. That what they do is like the P on the Supra, the keyhole for the hatch goes like right in the lower part of the P.
Oh, okay.
But people always go, "Oh, that's not supposed to like, I'm not supposed to cut it for that. That looks dumb." And so they put it so it's just under the circle on the P, and it just looks way wrong.
Right.
And you'll see probably more often than not when someone repaints one of those cars, like that's how you tell. It's like, oh, they screwed that up. It looks terrible.
Mhm.
It's one of those things. It's like if you know, you know.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
they did. So I got that put back on, did that right, and then also all the wheel flares, and the bumpers, they never got a chance to polish. It was painted, but they never got to denib it and polish it. And then also those wheel flares, they all have like a rubber seal that goes between the flare and the body, and they always
That's right.
sunbake and shrink up and start falling off, and they look bad. And then also there's what they call headlamp whiskers. So there's these two rubberized plastic trim pieces that go like on the body side of the pop-up lights, and that stay there. It's like almost like a little apron ahead of
Mhm.
it. They call them the whiskers. And they just always get sunbaked and cracked and fall apart. So the shop took it back. They did all of that. Like I bought the parts, so I
Wow.
bought the seals, I bought the billboard script, and I bought the whiskers. I actually found OEM ones in Japan, so I had them sent out from Japan.
Super cool.
Um, put it all back together. They did the polishing work. They did all the trim and everything, and it's ready to go. And it looks good. It looks very, very good. It
Yeah.
looks so much better. And still, like $3,500 is all I wanted for all of that.
Fucking
And so here's the thing: like I took it on the rally. It's kind of to the point where like I've kind of done my thing with it. So I got to thin the herd.
Oh,
I'm not gonna get physically buried in this car. It's not a forever car, so I might as well sell it now, not wait till the end of summer when it's election season and nobody wants to buy a damn car.
yeah.
Because they think we're like the apocalypse is coming or 6G is gonna take our soul or
It probably
brain
should.
worms or whatever. So in lieu of doing that, I'm just gonna I did all the photo work a couple of days ago. Gonna let it rip, no
Nice.
reserve. See what we get. I
Very
think
nice, man.
12-ish, I think, is probably the money on it.
I think so. Yeah.
But it looks so good, and it's a California car, and these cars are super prone to rust.
Super prone.
That's right. So we'll see. So that's what I've done.
Very nice,
and
man.
We'll see what happens. Maybe
That's
I come out on top.
Yeah, that's some sweet cosmetic progress for sure. And let's close this thing down. We're running along
Let's
in
do
the
it.
teeth. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. As always, another Pointless Automotive podcast, APA
Yeah.
podcast for those cool kids. And, obviously listen to wherever you can listen to your podcast and rate and review. We appreciate any feedback.
I heard the rating thing actually that has
We're-
like algorithmic implications. So if
Absolutely
you have an
does.
opportunity to give us 5 stars, but then absolutely undress us
Oh, dude.
in the comments.
Rusty
would be killer.
trombone the shit out of us. And plus,
And
on
into
top of
us.
that, follow us on Instagram. It's free. Same with our YouTube. We put every episode on YouTube. Follow along there. Subscribe. That also is no cost to yourself. It means a lot to us. We really appreciate that. Frank, where can the good folks follow you?
Ooh, boy. Don't. But if you want to, I suppose I'm the Photographer's Garage on all of the places. How about you, sir?
Yeah, Auto Obsessive Garage for all your rescues, restorations, and reviews. Check me
yeah,
out on the
wow.
YouTubes and all that fun stuff. But again, guys, we're shutting the shit down. We love you. We'll catch you in a week.
Shut
Take
it
care as
down.
always.
Let's go home.